Hello everybody. So today I want to talk about why you should buy the S&P 500 on a correction or a crash. So let's go back in time. Let's look at this 2020 crash right here. So I want to pull out the calculator. Let's see what top to bottom looks like. So the top was 339, bottom was 218, and we're going to divide that by 239 or 339. And we're going to multiply that by 100. So this crash right here was 35%. And keep in mind, this was the pandemic. So there's so much uncertainty. Nobody really knew what was going to happen. You could actually say that this is peak uncertainty. Compared to what we have now, I think this was probably worse. I mean, what we have now is somewhat predictable with where we can go, but I mean, pandemic, that's really unpredictable. We don't know what is going to happen. So I think this 36% crash is definitely warranted. So now keep in mind this is about 36%. Now let's see what happened shortly after. So this is right in the late March. Let's go maybe a month later. Actually, let's just go a week later. So a week later, we're around 261. So let's just calculate that. So that's 339 minus 261. And divide that by 339. Multiply by 100. And essentially, in 1 week, we recovered 13%. So that's pretty crazy. So let's go out a little bit further. Let's see what happens when we go out. Let's just say 1 month from that, 1 month from this crash. So 1 month from this crash, we're around 284. So let's see what that looks like. So in just 1 month, we went from about 36% here to 16% over here. So that's actually quite a recovery. That's more than 50% recovery. So just keep that in mind that in a short, it might look very ugly right here and things might look like they're at the worst. But if you're buying right here, in 1 month time, you could see a 50% recovery or more. So now to prove my point, I'm actually going to go back and look at the 2018 crash. So that was right here, which started, we got the high here in September, and then we got the low here in December. So let's calculate what this crash actually was. So that's about 294 right there. And we're going to subtract 233.76. We're going to divide by that 294 and multiply by 100. So S&P 500 from top to bottom was around 20.5%, and that's a light crash. It's basically in very light crash territory. In 2020, that was a heavy crash territory because there's so much uncertainty. So when we're looking at this 20.5% crash, let's see what happens when we go just a few days out. Let's just go like a week out. So if we go a week out, that's basically the start of January here. We're at around 251 in January. So let's see what that calculates to. $294 multiplied by 100. So essentially in 1 week, we recovered a little bit less than 6%, so about 5.5%-ish. Oops, lost my place here. Let's go back to 2018. So now let's go a little bit further than 1 week. Let's go about a month. So that would be around earnings season. So let's go right here. So right there is about 267. So we'll do 294 minus 267. And then we'll divide that by 294. And SPY is basically in pullback territory again. So we went from crash to pullback in 1 month. So this is my reasoning for why you should definitely buy SPY when it's in correction territory. So right now, where we are on SPY 430, we're about light correction territory. So we're in the low 10%. So if you're buying SPY around 10 to 15%, and you're getting most of your averaging around that 15% area, then I'm thinking that you have a very good price average. So let's actually see what 15% on SPY looks like from the current price action. So we made that high of 480 here in January. So if we're looking at what 15% looks like, that's going to be multiplied by 0.85. So 408 is where SPY goes 15% from the top. So for me personally, I'm going to want to be buying right around 420 to this 403 area right here. So if I could time most of my buys right around here, then I think I'm going to be solid. So let's actually see what 420 is from the top. So we're going to do 480 minus 420, divide that by 480, multiply by 100. Oops, I totally did that wrong. Let's do that again. 480 minus 420, divide that by 480. Multiply that by 100. That happens to be perfectly at 12.5%. So right around 420 is where I'm going to want to buy a lot of SPY. And if it does get there, I'm going to want to try and buy a little bit between that from 420 and this gap fill right here at 403. So let's say I get something, let's say I start buying at 420 and SPY actually falls all the way to 403 and then it rebounds. So let's say I want to be buying a lot right here at around 414, which to me seems like a pretty good area to be buying. Right there. As you can see, we have some light support right here. So I would probably want to be buying right around 420, 414, and then if it breaks this area, it's probably going to go to 410. Then after 410, it's probably just going to dump straight down to this 403 area. And then of course, we could fall more, but I would definitely try to build out most of my position. If I'm just holding cash right now, I would want to try to build out most of my position to be around as close as 15% as I can get. So that doesn't mean deploy all your cash when it gets to 403. Definitely leave a little bit of buffer because you don't know if this is going to fall a little bit more. But if SPY does reach 403, I would say have most of your cash deployed and be buying mostly around here. So you would want to build out at least 50% position right here at 403, and I think you would be golden. So if you're buying from 420 to 403, you would want to build out at least 50%. I mean, me personally, I'll probably be mostly built out. I'll probably be like 75% from this 420 to 403 area. But what I'm actually doing right now is I'm actually buying right here, right around that 428, 430. This is where I'm just taking that first initial nibble. And if we fall again, I'm buying right around 426. And I'm buying a little bit more right here at 420. So every single support level after SPY is initially in a correction, which is right where we're at about right now, like this 432 area. It's kind of where I would say SPY is officially in a correction. So every support level after, I'm actually doing just a little bit of nibbling. And then if we do get to that 420 region, that's where I'm going to go a little bit higher and start buying a little bit more. And then, like I said, I want to be 75% of my position built out by the time we reach this SPY 403 area, which will be really close to that 15% correction level. So that leaves me with 25% in case of a worst case scenario. So I have 25% cash left in case we fall below this. And where do we fall below this? I mean, even I'm not sure. There's not a whole lot of support here. So yeah, I'm honestly not sure where we fall if we fall below 400. And we could probably go all the way down here to 480. And then maybe even 464. And then if we fall below that, well, then we're just filling this gap right here at 452. So, I don't think that's going to happen, but like I said, and like I showed you guys, if you average around 15%, you're probably going to be good. So that's it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed, and stay safe out there.